Wait, what? Captain America Civil War is coming back in theaters? Oh boy, I can't wait to see it. Wait, what? This is not a Marvel movie. This is an A24 film from Alex Garland. That's a political movie. Okay then. Yeah, I'll go see it. It's A24. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Steve's here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on Civil War. So, Civil War is the latest film from the independent studio A24 and is directed by Alex Garland, the same director as Ex Machina, Annihilation, and oh god, man. And it stars Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, Nick etc. And so, Civil War tells a story taking place in the near future where a group of war journalists played by Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, and oh yes, Stephen McKinley Henderson go on a journey across the United States United States in order to expose the truth about the president's actions. During the journey, they witness a civil war that is going on. People are brutally being shot, and yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, so that's basically the plot for it. So yeah. So now, yeah, where do I start with this now? Yeah. Alex Garland isn't necessarily one of my favorite directors of all time. Yeah, I like that guy, but I don't really love him as he hasn't really made a flawless masterpiece before. Now, if you guys are wondering my thoughts on his films, I mean, Ex Machina, while it's nowhere near a masterpiece, and it is a tad bit overrated, I still think it's a great movie. And I mean, a damn great movie. It's just kind of flawed. And also, I don't know how that movie won Best Visual Effects. That should have gone to Star Wars The Force Awakens, honestly. Or at the very least, Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah. And would be my personal favorite Alex Garland movie. I know it's divisive, but I really dug Annihilation. It's not perfect, but like what I said, it is my favorite Alex Garland movie. But, but then he did Man, which is horrible. Yeah, one of the most disappointing movies I have ever seen. Well, not really, because I wasn't really looking forward to it with all the reviews I read. I mean, but wow, Man is a terrible movie. Like, it's A24, an actor-driven director. What happened? Like, Man is an extremely boring and confusing movie that just tries way to like be smarter than you think, but apparently all the ideas it reveals are just plain dumb. But when I heard that Alex Garland is making a Civil War from A24, I mean, despite him making Man, I was hyped for his movie. In fact, I don't remember being this hyped for an A24 film since Everything Everywhere All at Once. The trailers really got me pumped it markets itself as a legit political war film. Like, considering the name is Civil War, yeah, that trailer really got me hyped up. And I knew what I was gonna expect, I knew what I was going to expect from this critically, not narratively. And yeah, and I've been on a very strong relationship with A24 lately. I mean, A24 has been making bangers after bangers after bangers. I mean, sure, yeah, Everything Ever All at Once, I already reviewed that movie, and it is the best A24 film. There's no topping that. But then A24 gave us The Whale, Past Lives, and The Iron Claw. Three films that I fell in love with and got me into a strong relationship with A24. So yeah. Now, after seeing Civil War for myself, I gotta say, holy crap. This movie is is perfect. I love this movie. It is awesome. Yeah, even for A24 standards. Wow. Now I must say though that this film is not going to be for everyone. Yeah. This was marketed as a big blockbuster film. Like this is going to be A24's biggest blockbuster ever, even over everything everywhere all at once. And um, that's not what the movie is. Like, well, there were some I know this movie had some controversy with the marketing, considering that this was going to be a political movie, so it's gonna be pissing off some people on which side this movie's gonna take. But actually, what this movie turned out is a very simple road trip movie. Yeah, a movie about four journalists trying to get to Washington D.C. to get to the president, while the Civil War is in the middle of it all. While they're driving, they just witness the wars that are going on. It's not focused on the wars, but rather the journalists. People may get pissed off by how slow paced this is. Considering but yeah, trust me guys, this is a pretty slow film. This is a slow action film. Yeah, one movie that you'd probably compare this to is the Killer, the David Fincher movie from last year. Oh yeah, also my dad compared this movie to Heat. Yeah, you know that Michael Mann movie from 1995. Yeah, it will give you Heat vibes as well. And yeah, and it's basically those two movies combined. Heat mainly for all the gunshot scenes and stuff, but the Killer is mainly for the slow pacing, the pretty slow film where, but yes, this is a film I could have easily gotten bored at, but actually I gotta say, there was never a boring scene throughout. So if you kind of got worried about me saying that this is a slow burn film and it kind of feels like a typical A24 film, just know that it's still a very enjoyable crowd pleasing movie. You'll even enjoy the slow bits. Yeah, not once was I ever bored with this film. What I'm telling you now is so that you don't have to expect, oh, it's gonna be all action scenes throughout from start to finish. This is an A24 film, and there are a lot of times in a movie where it will give you the A24 vibes. Yeah, it'll be like, okay, and that's typical A24. It has a very similar style to to the other A24 movies. But even with that said, man, this film just rules. It's a very haunting, disturbing, and realistic film that left me on the edge of my seat. Yeah, throughout it, whether it's with a dialogue, with just scenes with sound, or simply put the action scenes. Yeah, it's a film that's not trying to pick a side when it comes to politics, because it doesn't really focus on politics. Like what I said, it focuses on the journalists. And let me tell you all, these journalists, they're such great characters. Yeah, this is great characters. Maybe not the strongest character development. It's more plot. It still feels very plot focused and stuff. But at least you get to understand the basic gist of them all. Yeah, Lee does have some sort of backstory, although it was explained in an exposition way. And yeah, you may not, there's not a lot, but it didn't need to have, and it's okay because I still care about care about his characters. I mean, you don't always need character development for characters to be good. You just need them to be memorable and you to actually care about them. And I actually rooted for them. Performances are great all across the board. Kirsten Dunst's Leia, I mean, honestly, I gotta say, this is Kirsten Dunst's best performance yet. And she was in the Raimi Spider-Man film. She played Mary Jane Watson. And yet she was buried here. Yeah, that is amazing. Wagner Moura, yeah, he voiced the Death and Possible's Last Wish. I think he was better in this movie than The Last Wish. Yeah, he's like the comedy guy. And yes, guys, there was actually some comedy in this film. Comedy in this film, yeah. There were some funny lines that he says. Like he says, especially with that one Jesse Plemons. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Jesse Plemons in the cast earlier. There was a scene when both Wagner Moura and Jesse Plemons were like, arguing over Americans, a lot of stuff because apparently Jesse Plemons is part of this military group who would pretty much kill anyone who is not American, and so he's like asking. What's America? Like, no, are you America? And then like, yeah, what kind of America? And then he just quizzed them with more and more questions. Yeah, so there is humor, but they actually use the humor in the right time. Yeah, they actually really masterfully, they know very well how to incorporate humor. Yeah, big movie studios need to take notes of this. Is Take note of when to use humor. That is a great example of that is an example of great right there of just great editing. Yeah, but man, this movie is ultimately very disturbing and suspenseful. There are scenes in the film, specifically quiet scenes, when you know that they're already in the war, and then the movie just starts to go in silence. You really feel the suspense. Like, I felt kind of scared that something was going to happen with these characters. I was actually preparing myself for a jump scare because I heard going into this that I read a review was mentioning that this film had jump scares. Well, they're not really jump scares, but you can kind of see why. And yeah. And man, the cinematography is gorgeous. The way that this movie was shot, it felt like an IMAX movie. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that this movie didn't. What a shame that this movie didn't play in any IMAX theaters in my country. Oh, it's probably because of Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, which also came out today, and it's the next movie I'm seeing in theaters. I'm seeing it on Friday, but still, even if you're watching it in just a Dolby theater, you still really feel the you still really see that the cinematography it feels it's just so gorgeously shot that you feel like your screen has just transformed into an IMAX screen. That's how I felt watching this movie. Yeah, especially with the aspect ratio. If you saw the trailer for Civil War, you knew how big the aspect ratio of this film was. And we need to talk about the sound. Talk about the sounds. Oh man, this has one of the greatest sound editing and sound mixings ever put to film, period. With the way that the gun is shot, it is extremely loud and feels realistic. It feels like these characters are actually shooting a real gun. That's how realistic it feels. And also, even as simple as the helicopter blades are whirling and the car engines, yeah, the sound of them feels so real and it's so loud. Yeah, this is a loud movie. And hear me out, guys. There was a scene in this film that was even louder than the sound of Oppenheimer. Yeah, this is pretty much the equivalent of Oppenheimer, the Oppenheimer of the year. This movie is automatically already winning best sound in my Frozen Awards 2025. Heck, I'd even say that this is my favorite cinematography of the year so far. Yes, the cinematography in this film is even better than Dune Part 2. Yeah, it dethrones Dune Part 2 in cinematography wise. And the action scenes are very intense. It's also very gory too. Yeah, it's such a gory movie with the fact that this film shows so much dead bodies. Yeah, actually, the action scenes are just shoot explosions, but yeah, I mean, it's an A24 film. You don't need to have straight up fighting, even though we got that in Everything Ever All at Once. So yeah, and and despite being an indie film, it still was very ambitious. It still was a big film and crowd pleasing with something to say about what the future of our world could look like. It's basically telling the audiences to stop and think about what you're doing, things that could affect your world later on. Alex Garland was able to visualize a world that okay, how do I put this to words? A world that could look like pretty much the future of humanity. If humans make very big mistakes that can question the fate of the world, that's what that is the depiction that Alex Garland is trying to show. And also one more thing, Kaylee Spaney's Jessie character Jessie is my personal favorite character in the film, and she is one of my favorite A24 characters. She actually has the most character development here. You actually get to know about her the most. She's basically this fangirl of Lee, and she wants to be like Lee. So she pretty much becomes this kid photojournalist. She's not this licensed journalist. She's not this licensed journalist, but rather she's just someone who just wants to have a passion journalist. Yeah, she's basically like similar to April O'Neil in Mutant Mayhem. So yeah, and also the ending was really shocking. I did not expect that ending. I won't spoil it for you, but I did not expect that. So overall, Civil War is an amazing film. A film that isn't as deep as you thought it was going to be. A film that doesn't have didn't really have a lot to say about politics and picking sides. Like this film, like people were questioning going into this if the film was going to be left wing or right wing, but it's neither wing. It's just a film about journalists, and on the side of it, it's actually a film that visualizes humanity's future. Yeah, it just has political elements to it because it's basically a realistic fiction. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the absolute greatest A24 films. No, it's not Everything Ever All at Once. That's still the best, but honestly, I would say this would be my second favorite A24 film, second only behind Everything Ever All at Once. And this would also be my second favorite movie of 2024, second only behind the Dune Part 2. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to give Civil War 5 stars out of 5. Perfect movie. So yeah, April is already on a roll with this film and Monkey Man, which I actually saw last Monday. Yeah, I will review Monkey Man eventually, but it's going to be like in those mini review series where I review multiple movies at once. I am planning to do that sometime this month. But yeah, and even though I love Monkey Man and Civil War, I still think Challengers will dethrone both movies as the best movie of April 2024. So yeah, that's all for my review. What are your thoughts on Civil War? Oh wait, like, did you get to see the film in the early access showing the film? If you did, what did you think of this film? And if you haven't seen this film yet, did my review of this interest you? Did this pique your interest? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And also my Frozen Awards. Yeah, as of now, I have recorded the two categories, two separate videos on them. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading them after this one. Bye guys.